Hi, my name is Adam Funk, and I'm an attorney in Houston, Texas. I specialize in birth injury cases. Today I want to talk to you about the fetal heart tracing and how it gets misread at hospital. First, let's talk about what is a fetal heart tracing. So it usually looks like something like this. It is a strip of paper that gets printed out, although a lot of hospitals are going electronic nowadays. And it shows and measures two different things. The first thing is the baby's heartbeat, and the second thing is your uterine contractions, or the pregnant mom's uterine contractions. Those two measurements allows us to see how much oxygen a baby is actually receiving in the womb. A nurse will review this strip over and over again every 5 minutes or maybe even 1 minute to see that everything is progressing well and that the baby in the womb is doing okay. How do these strips get misread? Well, it could be that the nurse is inexperienced and just doesn't know how to read these strips. It could be that the nurse is understaffed and too busy to review as frequently as he or she should. It could also be that the nurse was never trained by the hospital on the software that the tracings are used and seen on. All of these are very important for a parent who is sitting in the labor and delivery department to make sure that the tracings are not being misread. So what does a parent do? Well, first and foremost, you should get informed on how to read a strip yourself. Before you even walk into a labor and delivery room, you should know a few things. Now, I'm not saying go to medical school before you have a baby. However, I do think that it's important to see things on the strip and be ready for them. When I had my children, I was able to read the strip and to be able to question the nurse on certain times where I felt as though oxygen was not being received by the baby. For example, one thing that you can look at is the heartbeat. A heartbeat will go up and then down, up and then down. Very similar to what you see in the hospitals. When you see late decelerations, that is after a contraction occurs and the heartbeat goes down like that, after a contraction occurs and a heartbeat goes down right after it, those are telltale signs that the baby is not getting oxygen. Another way that you can tell that a baby is not receiving enough oxygen is if the variability of the strip is minimal. What is variability? That is the beat to beat timing of a baby's heartbeat. As you can see here, this strip is a healthy baby. It has a lot of variability. It is moving up and down quite often. That's a good, healthy baby. However, if you see a straight line, then that could very well be something that is problematic. The last thing you should always look for is if the baby's heartbeat is too high or even too low. Those could be signs that the baby is not receiving enough oxygen. If you are a parent and you believe that the fetal heart rate tracing strip was misread by a nurse or a doctor at your hospital, please give a birth injury attorney a call. They will be able to read the strip very well. They will sit down with their experts and review it so that you can get a better understanding as to whether or not you have a case. My name is Adam Funk. I'm an attorney in Houston, Texas, and I do specialize in birth injury cases and fetal heart rate tracing strips.